All right, guys, this is Alex, your dating coach, and today we're going to be talking about 5 things that men don't understand about women. We assume we're seeing women getting guys and getting attention from guys, and we assume that that is so cool. We assume that they're winning because they're getting attention. A lot of the times, women are losing, and we just don't know it. Why? Because they put on the appearance of being happy. Okay. So we're gonna talk about some of those misunderstandings that we have because we're looking at it from the views of our dicks. Okay, just because they're having sex, just because they can have multiple partners per day, and doesn't mean they're winning. Okay, there's a lot of things about women you guys just don't understand. So let's begin this. The first one is this. Okay, and this question was asked by one of our fellow Patreon supporters. And this is a topic that I actually cover in my course Dark Game, where I pretty much talk about there's a part in my course Dark Game about female nature, so you can find this out in that course. And that course is pretty much the overall course that I have for meeting and attracting women. It's a course on natural game, so there's no game, but also there's some strategies that you could use, like some lines that you guys can use that I use. So go check it out, and I don't put it on YouTube because I don't want everyone knowing my lines. I mean, come on, man. So the first one is this: when women reject you, we feel like they won. We feel like they're the ones that we have this feeling that they win because they reject us. Look, guys, it's your responsibility to approach women, okay? And it's their responsibility to either accept or reject you. A lot of women, just because they're rejecting you, doesn't mean they're happy. Like, they're like, oh, look at her. She thinking she's a shit. In fact, no. A lot of these women, when they're rejecting you, think about this. Think about it from a woman's perspective. Imagine you're a woman and the only kind of guy, imagine you're a guy and the only kind of people who are hitting you up to flirt with you are women who are fat women. You'll be pretty pissed off, right? And so here comes this fatty, 300-pound gorilla coming up to you. Hey, how's it going, right? And you're like, oh, God damn it, another one? Fuck, look, man, I don't want to talk, man. I don't want to talk, right? From her perspective, she's like, what the fuck does he think he is? Oh, he thinks he's better than me. But from your perspective, you're frustrated. You're like, yo, why can I not attract a fucking normal looking girl? God damn, right? So it's kind of like you think they're winning, but deep down they're like, yo, man, why am I always attracting these losers? That's what they're thinking in their minds, right? So a lot of times when they're rejecting you, it's not because they're confident. It's because they're just like, goddamn, like they feel like they can't attract the good guy. And it's the same feeling that you guys feel when all you could get is a fat girl. It's the same feeling. It's like it's a frustration. You get what I'm trying to say? The second thing, women get hurt more from emotional infidelity than from sexual infidelity. A woman will forgive you quicker for having sex with another woman than falling in love with another woman. Much quicker. You want to know why? Look. Well, men react more to sexual infidelity than to emotional infidelity for the main reason that men don't want to have a kid and not know it's his. Back then you didn't have DNA tests. So if you had a kid, you didn't know if it was yours, right? So that's why guys find sexual infidelity so much more harsher because they don't know whether or not that's their kid. You get me? But and also they don't want to invest into some motherfucker who's not even his. But women, they value emotional infidelity because that's a bigger predictor if he is going to invest in her and her offspring. So women were naturally selected to care more about emotional infidelity than sexual infidelity, and men were naturally selected to worry more about sexual infidelity than emotional infidelity. So it's one of those things. That's why women it's been in our surveys also. Women say that they value more when a man cheats on them emotionally than physically. All right, so that's one big part. The third one, most women on Tinder are on the rebound or emotionally unavailable. Don't get me wrong, you do meet women who like you on Tinder. Like that's not out of the ordinary. But tell me how many of your friends, out of what's the percentage of your friends who actually found relationships on Tinder? And if they did, how long did it take them? You gotta understand, a lot of these women on Tinder, they're on there because they're on a rebound. They're on it because their boyfriends broke up with them and they're just looking for somebody to make them feel good about themselves. They're not on there for a relationship. In fact, a lot of these women will bang you and you never hear from them again. Why? Because that's just Tinder. right? So it's kind of like if you want a relationship, Tinder is not the place where you could find. Don't get me wrong, you could find it, but it takes going through a few of them. You get what I'm trying to say? The women there are more into hooking up. It's much better to you can meet the same girl in real life versus Tinder, and she'll act completely different with you. She'll act completely different. She'll be more into relationships in real life than Tinder because on Tinder she doesn't know you, so she can act like a hoe on Tinder, right? But if you know her from school or work, she'll be more into relationships because one, you know her friends, and she doesn't want to be known as the type of girl who just wants to bang, right? So when you meet a woman on Tinder, lower your expectations. Don't expect much because most likely she's just there to fuck, right? She's there to fuck, right? The fourth one, women will stand up to you only when they don't like you. A woman will get mad at you for taking 12 hours and say, I'm not gonna talk to you no more, only when they don't like you that much. A woman will only stand up to you and will show you standards. Like, you know how women say, oh, fuck you, man. If you can't, like, we're not talking no more, you cancel twice. You know, it's kind of like a woman standing up for herself. Healthy shit, actually, right? Like, healthy shit, right? If you're acting inconsistent, she'll break up with you because you're being inconsistent. Women will only do that when they don't like you. When they like you and you're acting inconsistent, they still stick around. Like, when they like you and you're acting inconsistent, they'll still chase you because it's an emotional thing. But when they don't like you and you're acting inconsistent, they'll say, oh, hell no, this guy is being flaky on me. I'm going to stand up for myself because I have pride. No, bitch, you're only standing up for yourself because you don't like the motherfucker. And that's why you have that kind of discipline to stand up to him. You get what I'm trying to say? So don't say, oh, she broke up with me because she has standards. No, nigga, she just didn't like you. It's that simple, bro. And the last one, they feel insecure about the attention they get. Like, you guys have to understand this, man, is that being a woman is not as fun as it looks, okay? So why do they feel insecure? One, think about it. You're a girl, and you're walking down the street, everyone is looking at you, right? But most likely when you're a guy, nobody's looking at your ass. Imagine that. You're constantly saying, how do I look? How do I look? How do I look? How do I look? You're constantly looking at yourself in the mirror and saying if you look good or not. Even if they're really good looking girls will compare themselves to really, really good looking girls. It's like being tall in the NBA, right? If you're 6'3", normal world, you're tall. But if you're 6'3" in the NBA, you're short. And being 6'3" in the NBA will feel like being a 5'4" guy in the real world. You're gonna feel short because you're always hanging around with tall guys and you're always comparing yourself relatively to your competition. It's like also in the NBA, right? For example, if you meet a guy who is a bench player in the NBA, you might think he feels like the shit, but I can promise you, because he's a bench player, when he's around his teammates, he feels like shit. He feels like a bench warmer. So it's kind of like, it's all relative. Self-esteem for a lot of people is relative. It's not that a billionaire, if you have a billionaire who's a top 3 billionaire and he falls from number 1 to number 8, he's still a billionaire, but he still feels down because he's not top 1. So he feels like shit. He feels poor, to be honest with you. I know that's crazy to believe, but that's true. That's how they feel like it, right? The serotonin level goes down. So these women, these really hot girls, will notice that some of her friends naturally get more attention. They may get 2 or 3 more guys, which is not much, but that feeling of not being the best one of her group makes her serotonin level go down. She doesn't feel like she's respected, and she feels unattractive. That's why a lot of these hot girls get surgery, right? Think about it. You feel so insecure about how the type of attention you get that you get surgery. Just think about that, right? It's not a fun experience. Like, honestly, it's even though they're good looking, trust me, they can have the perfect body and maybe her boobs are not big, but her body's absolutely perfect. And you might like girls with small boobs, but just because she doesn't have small boobs, she feels absolutely catastrophically insecure because of that. So it's kind of like, don't let your bitterness from women blind you from the reality. A lot of these women don't have good lives. A lot of them are poor. A lot of them feel absolutely insecure. A lot of them have been abused physically, sexually. It's not fun. And it's kind of like, I'm not saying that to excuse their behavior, but it's to help you understand that we're all struggling. It's not just guys that live in quiet desperation. A lot of these women, yeah, they're having fun in the 20s, but when they hit their 30s They didn't plan for it. Women don't plan for their 30s for the most part. They only plan for it once they reach there. They gotta cross this river of absolute insecurity. And it's kind of like, let's have compassion. I'm not saying, I don't give a fuck, I'll play them, you know what I'm saying? But it's more about compassion, because it'll help you not feel that bitter. And if it means you not feeling bitter, it's good to understand these types of concepts. You get what I'm trying to say? All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. If you guys ever need one-on-one coaching, go to mindfulattraction.org to get one-on-one coaching. See you guys in the next video.
Okay, so if you consider yourself a nice guy, if you're the type of person that always gets played by women, is considered like a mama's boy, or you like assertiveness, or you've been bullied when you were a little kid, and so you develop some nice guy's tendencies, then I would highly recommend you check out my new course, Nice Guy. It's specifically made for just nice people in general. I'm a nice guy. I was a nice guy. I was a Bible teacher, for God's sake. I was a Bible teacher. It doesn't get any more nicer than that, okay? So in this course, I will teach you about the art of assertiveness. And if you just learn to become more assertive in a healthy and non-toxic way, what will happen is that men will respect you and women will bang you for the most part, okay? As long as women respect you and see you as a man, that's all that matters. So this course is more about how to embrace your masculine side. If a guy watches this, he'll embrace his masculine side. If a woman watches this, they'll embrace their feminine. This is a course specifically made to bring out your assertive self in a healthy way. So you're gonna learn about the source of human aggression. You're gonna learn about how to assert yourself in terms of in a work situation, what to do if somebody disrespects you, how to know if somebody is disrespecting you or not. Because when you're a nice person, you assume that everybody has good intentions. So you can check out all of this. It's a pretty big course, but the size of the course, it doesn't matter. You can check out all of this for just $99. And if you don't like it, just ask for your money back, and I'll send you your money back. No questions asked. Not one time in my career have I ever rejected somebody's refund. So if you don't like it, it's a money back guarantee. This is the equivalent of buying a sneaker. Okay, it's a really good investment. So I'll see you guys inside. It's a 30-day money back guarantee, and you will not regret it, because after this course, you will learn how to become more assertive, and women will stop playing you. It's plain and simple, and that's all that matters. I'll see you guys inside.